Shalom. I'm so excited to be able to share with you a little bit about this week's Torah portion. We begin the second book of the Bible, Exodus, which in Hebrew is entitled Shemot. Shemot literally means names because it recounts the 70 names of the children of Israel that go down to Egypt. Now, it's a really important title for the book because the word Shemot is connected to the word neshama. Neshama means soul. And there are 4 letters in the Hebrew word for soul. The middle 2 letters of the word is the name Shem. Shem means literally the name. Why? Because a person's soul is revealed in their name. Our name is meant to reveal our soul essence and our soul mission in life. And so Israel went down 70 to Egypt. And in the midst of the persecution, God multiplied them into a nation of millions. In fact, the more they were persecuted, the more they grew and were fruitful and multiplied. And that should be an encouragement to each and every one of us because we need our Egypts. There's times in our lives where we have to descend to Egypt. That's part of the process. But God uses the problems. He uses the prisons. He uses the pits in our life to prepare us for the greater promise so that we can reach our full potential. Without those things, we'll never truly develop our soul essence and we will not be prepared for our soul mission of why God sent us into this world. And so be encouraged. You might descend to that place of confinement and restriction. You might be in the place of a personal Egypt right now, but know that God will bring you out. And when he brings you out, he's going to do great things with you. Just like Moses, God called Moses out of Egypt before he called the children of Israel out of Egypt. And when God appeared to Moses in this Torah portion and called him to go to Pharaoh and say, "Let my people go," he appeared to Moses in a burning thorn bush. And that is so significant. Why? A thorn bush? Because God was saying, I have been with you in the midst of the thorns, in the midst of the pain, in the midst of the affliction. And although you might seem lowly, and although you might be beaten down, understand that I have been with you, and I'm about to set you on fire and do great things with you by my presence. And in the same way, when Messiah came and gave his life for us, he died on that tree. He died on the cross. He had a crown of thorns on his head. Why? Because he was identifying with our pain. He was identifying with all of the hardships and the struggles that we have to go through in our life. And his promise is, I will never leave you nor forsake you. In the midst of it all, God is there and he's going to use it for good. But of course, there's something more. He appears to Moses in the thorn bush that's set ablaze. Why? Because what was the curse of creation in Genesis chapter 3? That the ground was going to produce thorns and thistles. Israel was in exile because of the curse of creation. We suffer in pain because of the curse of creation. Messiah Yeshua, Jesus, literally took the crown of thorns on his head. He was taking the curse upon himself to reverse it so that the blessing of creation might be restored in your life and in my life. So be encouraged. God is with you. He is going to use the Egypts in your life for good. It is part of the process to prepare you for the promotion that he has for you, for the purpose that he has created you for. Know that when God called Moses from the midst of the burning bush, it was also a message to you and I that each one of us has a responsibility to lead others out of Egypt, to bring freedom and breakthrough and blessing in their life. So go forward and do great things for God. Shabbat Shalom.